Don in London, hello, and it's March 25th, 2009, Wednesday morning, time around 8:15. So hello, and my video is all about recovery, and that's recovery from addiction to substances or behaviour. My substance, alcohol, my behaviour, quite addictive, workaholic, gymaholic, relationshipaholic, any old holic. And I stay in recovery just one day at a time, and life goes on. Life goes on without the need to be indulging in my addictions. Or maybe one, that is the ism of living, that I wake up in the morning, ask myself, how am I feeling, why, what can I do? And make the best of the day I have ahead. And part of doing that is the daily reflections for me here on my YouTube site, sharing experience, strength and hope, and what makes it work for me, and that's the fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I make no apology for that. I don't speak for AA, never would. I can speak for the experience I get, or rather the wisdom I get to experience life. And what the program gives me is a 12-step action program to do with my attitudes and behaviour, and a safe place to find my truth, the truth of me, either past, present or future. And actually what the program suggests is we just keep it in the day, just one day at a time, see how recovery goes, and if we can go with it, we go with it, and if we can't bear it, well, the consequences, I just don't wish to imagine what they are. They are an unimaginable pain for me to go backwards and start drinking again. So I try and I don't drink on a daily basis, that's all I can say. And there are no graduation days, if you like. We never graduate from the fellowship of AA, we just keep on going and helping each other to stay sober one day at a time. Hot coffee, good. So the AA preamble shared at every meeting I go to here in London goes like this, and this is the meeting preamble, and it helps slow me down into the moment of now. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. Does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And a long day yesterday, up early, getting ready to go to a funeral, which I did, and it was glorious sunshine, and many people turned out, and it was a celebration of a good friend's life, and I guess we all cherished him, and saw him as a great friend, and somebody who had lots of wisdom, and who could be gentle and caring, and that's all the good. And I was there, not as the main player, because that's not the way we are when we get into recovery. We're just normal human being size. And it was just nice to be a normal human being, paying my respects to somebody who's helped me greatly over the last few years. So, yes, after that I was exhausted. I got to a meeting in the evening, and it was a very good meeting actually, of the fellowship, and made me think about those times, those awful times when I couldn't stop drinking at all. It was 24/7, I was very ill, I've been rushed to hospital more than once, and I just didn't know how to stop. And the malady of drink, or the malady of addiction, affects us all the same. We get to a place where we cannot stop doing something we know is self-harming. And the gift of fellowship, if you like, is self-healing through fellowship. And that is, we learn a path of recovery for ourselves, and we learn from other people how that may be. At the same time, we remain unique, authentic human beings with our own outlook at this moment in time. It's our journey, our experience, and we share it if we are lucky, and we're included rather than excluded from life and living. And here on my videos, I utilise, as Bill sees it, one of the AA literature books, and this one, Daily Reflections, particularly because it covers the 12-step action program for individuals, one step a month. So one step of attitude and behavioural change a month. It's an insight, if you like, to be a mental jogger on a daily basis. And for March 25th, March being the third month, and it's the third step, which reads exactly as, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. And as I emphasise, it's the God of your understanding, or as an atheist or agnostic or a God believer, it could be to good conscience, to the greater good of humanity, to the greater good of being, just being in the moment, and a part of life, included and not excluded and not in charge. So that's the important thing. God or good conscience represents a higher power. So the word God, when it's used here, is as you see it, not as I see it. A full and thankful heart. I try hard to hold fast to the truth that a full and thankful heart cannot entertain great conceits. When brimming with gratitude, one's heartbeat must surely result in outgoing love, the finest emotion that we can ever know, and that comes from As Bill Sees It, page 37. I believe that we in Alcoholics Anonymous are fortunate in that we believe we are constantly reminded of the need to be grateful and how important gratitude is to our sobriety. I am truly grateful for the sobriety God has given me through the AA program, and I'm glad I can give back what was given to me freely. I am grateful not only for sobriety, but for the quality of life my sobriety has brought. God has been gracious enough to give me sober days and a life blessed with peace and contentment, as well as the ability to give and receive love, and the opportunity to serve others in our fellowship, my family and community. For all this I have a full and thankful heart. And I don't know that it matters whether you have, it doesn't matter if you're atheist, agnostic or a God believer. What it is for me is being included and level and no bigger and no smaller than anybody else. And the principles of the program to improve our spiritual, emotional and physical well-being on a daily basis means we never get bigger than one day to live our wisdom, live our experience, strength and hope. So the gift is, it's a levelling and inclusion of a person back into civilization, society, community, family, and maybe humility as well. You know, that thing, the antonym of pride, as my good friend who was buried said yesterday. You know, the antonym of pride is humility. And it doesn't mean bowing and scraping, it just means being the same size, with an outlook which can be challenged or supported on a daily basis. And as Bill sees it, righteous indignation, page 58. I just do these linearly from this book, and I've got time. Righteous indignation. The positive value of righteous indignation is theoretical, especially for alcoholics. It leaves every one of us open to the rationalization that we may be as angry as we like, provided we can claim to be righteous about it. And as somebody wrote to me yesterday, suggesting that what I do is wrong, 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 and I don't belong to AA, well, I sincerely hope that I don't react to that, because I am who I am, and I do what I do, and I do take account of other people's feelings. But you know, in the traditions of the fellowship, tradition 1, tradition 2, and basically all of them say that we need to rub along and be a part of, rather than distinguish or alienate anybody and exclude them. So I don't know. I don't have an opinion on other people's opinions of me. If I did, then I would go round and round in circles and never get anywhere. So, when we harboured grudges and planned revenge for defeats, we were really beating ourselves with the club of anger we had intended to use for others. We learned that if we were seriously disturbed, our very first seed was to quiet that disturbance, regardless of who or what we thought caused it. So, you know, it's not about a blaming culture, it's about an accepting culture, accepting what life is today. And sometimes we do tread on the toes of other people, but it's not intentional, and certainly not to undermine their values and principles. I guess what I'm saying here is we need to know and understand ourselves enough on a daily basis to make use of this day, to know what our maladies are, to know what will help us keep well, and in a good fit state of spiritual, emotional and physical, to the degree that we can, given our age and other things which come along in sobriety, called normal living. So, as an ending, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.